Hey, CHS, we're your counselors. I'm Miss Goldman. I have students with last names A through G.
I'm Miss Johnson, and I have students' last names H to O. And just as a reminder, this is the abbreviated 10th grade course selection sheet that Mr. Cummins is going to walk you through. But if you want to watch our 30-minute, very, very informative video, feel free.
Hey everybody, and I'm Mr. Cummins, and I work with students with last names P through Z. So hopefully you have your registration packet out in front of you, and we will walk you through it fast to make sure you're ready to sign up for your classes. So here's a checklist on the front of all the information that we have in the packet. It starts with our graduation requirements and the UC A through D requirements. You can see them here. You can access this PowerPoint afterwards on the CHS Counseling Power School page. And in our more detailed video, we go into more of the specifics of UC A through D requirements and graduation requirements. So if you want more details, please see those. Next, you'll see some sample four-year plans. So if you want to lay out classes that you want to take over the next 3 years and make sure you cover all your requirements, this is some great samples of the different types of tracks that students are on. There's more than what you see, but these are to help get you started. And then after that, you'll see a blank four-year plan where you can sketch out all the classes that you want to take throughout your course of high school. There is a checklist at the bottom if you want to make sure that you've met all the graduation requirements and all the UCA through G requirements. And if you need any help trying to plan those out, the counseling staff is happy to meet with you one-on-one to talk about that more in depth. What we want to spend our focus on today is determining which classes you want to sign up for next year. Keep in mind the students have to sign up for at least 6 classes, and you have the choice of taking up to 8. So you can take 6, 7, or 8 classes next year. Grade level priority may be given to older students, so it's make sure that we take the classes that you want, but also signing up for some alternates that we'll hit on at the end. And so course placement is subject to change. You cannot pick which terms you want particular classes unless they are already designated to happen in a particular term. So here we go, let's walk through it. First, we start with our A category, which is social science. As a sophomore, you have to take social science. You might not have taken it as a freshman, but as a sophomore, you have the choice of taking world history or AP world history. When you're making that choice, you want to think about how strong of a reader you are and how well you can handle a fast-paced course. AP World History has a lot of information to cover in a short period of time, so it's going to be a very rigorous, fast-paced course with a lot of reading. If that's for you, then sign up for the AP World History class. If that sounds a little intimidating, then I would go for the College Prep World History class. So Ms. G, which class are you going to take?
History is not my favorite subject. Sorry, Heafy. So I'm going to sign up for world history.
All right. So next, all students take English all 4 years. So you have your choice between English 10 and English 10 honors. Very similar to history. Ask yourself how strong of a reader you are. There's going to be more reading and writing in English 10 honors, and it's going to be faster paced and graded a little bit more rigorously than regular English 10 will. So Ms. G, which one do you think you want to take?
No, I think I want to try the honors. I like writing, and I'm excited to try a weighted honors class.
It sounds like 0070 is the course for you. The next is C category in mathematics. You have multiple different options when it comes to math. A lot of students like to choose the sequence math, which means you would take a math class in the fall and a math class in the spring. You do not have to do that, but for students who want to stay on track and not have a gap in their math foundation, choose to sequence math. So as a freshman, if you took integrated math 1, you could choose to sequence integrated math 2 and integrated math 3 as a sophomore. And if you were to do that, you'd put the course codes 4513F and 4515S. So you only need to put the F and the S if you're choosing to sequence your math classes. If you're only planning on taking one math class next year, then you can just put the course code. You only need one of them, and you will not be able to choose which term you take your math. So Ms. G, which math class do you want to take?
So I'm in math 1 right now, and I think I want to stick with 1 math next year and take math 2.
Okay, great. One note real quick for those of you who are planning to get to pre-calculus next year. For students who are planning on to take AP Calculus, the math department highly recommends that you take honors pre-calculus because it's going to be faster paced, it's going to be more rigorous, and it covers more standards to better prepare you for AP Calculus. So for those of you thinking about taking AP Calculus in the future, the math department recommends that you go for honors pre-calculus for that level of math. So next, let's move on to lab science. Keep in mind that all students have to take biology, chemistry, and physics in order to graduate. As a freshman, you likely either took biology or chemistry. So as a sophomore, you probably want to go in the other direction. So if you took biology as a freshman this year, you likely are going to want to take chemistry next year. If you took chemistry this year, you have the choice on how you want to fulfill your biology requirement by either taking the college prep biology class, or if you choose that you want to go for AP biology. Keep in mind that anybody interested in taking AP biology must take chemistry first, because chemistry is the prerequisite for all of our AP science classes. You'll see two lines, because if science is your favorite subject and it's a subject that you like, you could choose to take 2 science classes next year if you wanted to. But please keep in mind that our science and our math classes line up. So biology lines up with integrated math 1, chemistry lines up with integrated math 2, and physics lines up with integrated math 3. So if you're thinking that you want to go for physics also next year, make sure you're at the very least in integrated math 3 at the same time you're taking physics. Ms. G, so it looks like you want to do chemistry this next year.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to world language. The college requirement is that you get to the second level of a
4
world.
minutes, Mr. Cummins.
All right. So for those of you that may have taken world language as a freshman, you likely want to take the next level of that world language. So if you took Spanish or French 1 as a freshman, you'd want to do Spanish or French 2, Spanish 2 or French 2 as a sophomore. As with math, you could choose to sequence your world language if you want to and take 2 in the same year. So it looks like Ms. G wants to sign up for Spanish 2 and Spanish 3 to sequence her Spanish and finish her college recommendation. So just to be clear, the college requirement is to get to the second level, but most competitive colleges are going to want to see you get to that third level. So Ms. G wants to get done with that recommendation by her sophomore year. Going on to the F category, all students who want to apply to four-year college do need to take a 1 year of a visual and performing art at some point. Some students choose to wait to take this as a junior or senior. Others choose to get it out of the way sophomore year. So if you haven't taken an F yet, you may want to choose to take one of those as a sophomore and get that requirement done so you have more options and flexibility in your schedule as a junior or a senior. Ms. G, are you going to want to take your F requirement this year?
I'm going to save that. I want to take ceramics as a senior.
Okay, that sounds good. So you may want to fill your schedule with an A through G college prep elective or possibly a PE class. When you look at the college prep electives, these fulfill a variety of categories. Most of them qualify for the G category, but you'll see some other letters there like A or D, which means that those classes can double dip in the other UC A through G categories as well. Do you see a college prep class that you would like to take, Ms. G?
Maybe, but I don't know. I only have 2 spaces left in my schedule and I want to see everything that I
All
could
right,
take.
let's see what else we have.
Do I have to
Next-
take PE?
So, great question. PE is a really important class that you should consider taking as a sophomore, because all students have to take 2 years of PE in order to graduate. Just like fine art or the F category, you could choose to take this as a junior or senior, but our counseling staff recommends that you do it as a sophomore, get it done, get it out of the way so that you'll have that flexibility in your schedule as a junior or senior. So you could choose to do weight training, yoga, or continue with NJROTC, or you could choose to take an athletic hybrid PE class. As we mentioned earlier with hybrid PE, you want to take hybrid PE during the same term that you're going to play your sport. So fall sports, take hybrid PE term 1. Spring sports, take hybrid PE term 2. And if you play a winter sport, you want to take your hybrid PE in term 1, because the majority of your sport is going to happen in term 1. So to recap, you should take your PE as a sophomore, but if you don't want to, there will be opportunities to take it as a junior or senior. So what are your thoughts, Ms. G?
I am interested in learning about lifting and weight training, so I want to take that class.
Awesome. So now you have one more spot to fill up, which we can take other elective classes. Classes in the other electives category, they do not fulfill the G requirement for UCA through G, but they still look good on a transcript. And if you're passionate or interested about finding out more about these subjects, they're a great class to take to learn more about guitar or broadcasting or journalism or one of those type of classes if you're interested. Sophomores are also able to take a dual enrollment class, and a dual enrollment class is a class that's taught by a Southwestern College professor on our campus, and it's called dual enrollment because you earn both college credits and high school credits at the same time. We'll be offering American Sign Language and Intro to Business in the fall, and the American Sign Language class is the same level as Spanish 2 or French 2. So taking that one class will meet your college requirement for world language. And then we'll be offering medical terminology and Mexican American cultures in the spring. And then lastly, you could also choose to have an off roll first or fourth period, which would mean you would have a free period during that class period. And if you have stuff going on in the afternoon, you may want to choose to have a fourth period off roll. And if it's hard for you to get up in the morning, you may want to choose to have a first period off roll. So what are your thoughts, Ms. G?
I'm not a morning person, so I would like to have my fall mornings off.
Okay, cool. And then real quick, if you're taking ASB, if you happen to be an at-large member, you only need to sign up for one term of ASB, but if you're an elected officer, you need to sign up for both, so that'll count as 2. And similarly with COSA, if you are in COSA, you need to put your conservatory there, and keep in mind that your conservatory will be both terms, so we need to count that as 2 as well. Now that we've gotten through our 8 course selections, you may think you're done, but we're not quite there yet. You do need to make sure that you enter 3 alternate classes, because what can happen a lot of times is based on the classes you choose, they may not all line up with the periods, and you may not be able to get 1 or 2 of your elective classes. When that happens, we want to have your alternate electives in there so we can make easy changes for classes you want, and you don't get stuck with the computer picking your classes and getting a class that you may not particularly like. Ms. Goldman's going to put in sports medicine, journalism, and AP computer science principles for her 3 alternate classes. She puts them in that order because she would want sports medicine first as her first choice, and journalism as her second choice, and AP computer science as her third choice if she were not to get one of the classes, the 8 classes above that she chose. Very last thing, make sure you put your email and you and your parents sign it. It's very important that you have an email that you would check over the summer, because while you guys are off vacationing and having fun and doing lots of cool stuff, we're still here at work trying to get your schedules ready for the upcoming year. So when this happens and we need to find out how you'd like to replace a course, we would like to contact you. So make sure that you have an email that you check. If you don't have a personal email that you check, it's okay to put your parents, but just make sure you have an email that we can contact you over the summer if we have any scheduling conflicts that we need to fix over the summer. So that about wraps it up. We are going to meet with everybody individually at some point in the spring. So we look forward to meeting with you one-on-one to finalize your course selections. And keep in mind, you will have until the end of the school year, June 16th, to make any changes to your schedule for next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.